Alright, and welcome to my first Let's Play playthrough. So we are going to be playing through Super Mario Land 2. 6 golden coins. This was one of my first games I've ever played. My name is Caden. Hi. And yeah, and I just kind of woke up this morning and I wanted to play a game, and I wanted to share it with a bunch of people. And I know this is a game that often goes, oh wow, if I can hit the block and actually play the game, that'd be cool. I know this is a game that for a lot of people goes unplayed, and mainly just because, you know, it's the sequel to Super Mario Land 2, or sorry, Super Mario Land, a game that most people who didn't grow up with it have never touched or even looked at. It's the weird oddball of the Mario series, being just, you know, weird. Has the Super Ball power-up that we're seeing now in Super Mario Maker 2, which is, I think, is hilarious that they brought that back, because it really is just the most garbage freaking power-up ever. But they've found some really cool uses for it in that game, so that really made me happy to see that come back. But this game is just the epitome of the sequel improving upon and making just a largely better game than the original game. Like I said, this was one of the first games I ever played growing up with my good old-fashioned Game Boy Color. So it has a huge amount of nostalgia for me. I apologize for my wonky playing. I'm currently playing on the Game Boy player so I can record this, and it is not wanting to cooperate playing with the GameCube controller. While it is a great controller, not my favorite for side-scrolling platformers, not gonna lie. Not to say that it controls terribly, but it has something to be desired. This was also the game where you have the spin technique, similar to in Super Mario World. I want to say this is the game that introduced it. I could be wrong in saying that, but I want to say this game came out before Super Mario World, being that it was on the original Game Boy. But yeah, obviously this is also the game that first introduced Wario as a villain. He was the main villain of this game, which is kind of crazy to think that he's in this just kind of side title Mario handheld. But yeah, and of course Wario would eventually move on to have his own games, being Wario Land, so you can clearly see where they had the inspiration for that series coming off of this series. They even had Super Mario Land 3 just be Wario Land, which I think is hilarious, like the original Wario Land. So that's pretty neat. But you can probably tell there's some weird power-ups and weird little gimmicks that this game has that make it stand apart from a lot of the other Mario series. Such as, first off, you can choose whatever world you want to go to first, which I think is great. And they are all very different, very interesting locations. Personally, we're going to start off at the tree zone, just because I feel like that's a fairly good introductory area. It's a little weird, but I will say, the music in this game is fantastic. I freaking love it. If I had to choose some favorite Mario music, it would either be this game or the original Super Mario Bros. 2. Another game that I loved growing up. I had the Game Boy Advance version, which honestly is really good. If you've never played that game, that's a really great way to play that game. You'll notice there are these bells that are checkpoints halfway through a level. Oh, and the weird little moles. You won't notice a lot of Goombas and Koopas in this game. Not to say there are none, because there are, but they're much fewer and more far between than in previous Mario games or even future Mario games. You see a lot more zone-specific enemies or palette swap zone-specific enemies, but I don't know, I like it. It adds a little bit of flavor and color to each zone, makes it feel a little more unique. And of course, like, you know, Tree Zone's not the most creative zone of all time, but, well. And then you have me doing stupid stuff like that. So, hopefully you enjoy seeing me die. Because I'm sure I'll do dumb stuff all the time. I know plenty of people who have never beaten this game. People who have played this game growing up, but they couldn't get past one particular level being the final level. So that has always been surprising to me, because even as a kid, frickety, frackety, frackety, buckety, buckety, bucket of frucks. Frickin' dragonfly. Oh, and no, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. I'm so sad. It's all good though. As you can tell, each level's pretty short. This whole level, and you'll see actually a lot of these going through the game, is... oh god. I forgot about these abominations of nature. If you've ever wondered where good old-fashioned no lactose milk comes from, water cows. Water cows is the answer. And 1-ups are no longer 1-up mushrooms in this game, which kind of always confused me, but they're little hearts. Not that it really matters that much, but it's kind of weird. Oh, It's good. It's good. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. Those freaking cow things hurt my eyes, make me sad, and in general, make it a bad time to be a Mario in the water. And as you can kind of tell, the hitboxes are a little wonky in this game too. Sometimes you'll hit spikes even though you clearly didn't. Sometimes you'll go into water and it won't say you're in water. And then you look at the game and you're like, hey game, maybe not. And the game looks back at you and basically tells you to go home because you're a sad nugget who deserves to be sad. But it's okay, because that's why we're here. We're here to make the game feel bad about itself. And then, in turn, fix all of our problems. Now this is kind of a weird power-up. I both love it and hate it. Because when it works great. And then it doesn't. And then you're really sad about it. And then you're really sad about it. And then you're really sad about it. And then you're dead. Then you're just dead. Well, I warned you that it was going to happen. If you didn't take up that warning, I apologize, and I don't blame you if you leave right now. Part of me would like to, give you forewarning that I do tend to ramble. And by ramble, I do mean ramble. I don't mean commentary. Because there's a big difference between commentary and some of the BS that I spit out. So just be prepared for that. I am gonna, for the most part, try to keep this fairly... Oh, come on. Oh, come the freaking goddamn it. God... No. I made it. Oh, it's like I never died. I am gonna, like I was saying, I am gonna try to keep this more or less as PG as I physically can. I cannot promise that. I do have the tendency to say some weird expletives, but we... Oh, and alright, Fudge-a-Manucks. Okay. Fudge-a-Manucks. Mixture of fudge and the Manucks. The West County Fanucks. But, yeah. So, just be prepared for weirdness. And, in general... Oh, crap. No. And in general, just me saying dumb stuff. So if you're into that, you have found the right place. But yeah, I personally I collect a lot of old games, like old retro Nintendo stuff. Nintendo's been a big part of my whole life and childhood, so like big fan of pretty much all of their properties in all their games. Not to say that they're perfect, because good God, they're not. But I don't know. There's something just like very just fun about all their stuff that a lot of other companies haven't been able to really capture for me. I don't know. Yeah, but I have a lot of older games that I want to try to play for this channel. Like, this was actually originally going to start off as a Final Fantasy I blind playthrough, because I have never played a Final Fantasy game. But unfortunately, I was having some issues finding some of the recording equipment and how to have that set up. It's a little awkward, a little janky. But, so I should be able to get that soon. So that shouldn't be that big of a deal. Now, another thing I like about this game is, right here, you'll notice the maps have branching paths. So you technically don't have to do every single level to get to the boss. I am going to do every single level because I like the game enough, but you don't have to, which I think is great. But yes, we have these stupid little grubs, and you probably also are like, oh my gosh, Caden, there are these claw machines at the end of every level. What the heck's up with that? So at the end of every level, you have the goalposts, which you without a doubt saw me go through. So there's a bell at the top of every goal. You don't have to hit the bell to end the level. All you have to do is go in the door. But if you want, you can hit the bell. If you hit the bell, you get to do a claw minigame. And that claw minigame will give you power-ups, extra lives, all sorts of stuff. So, always worth your time trying to go for that. If you don't get it, obviously don't worry. You still can finish the level. No problemo. But who doesn't want a little extra goodies? Ah, spiky pillar. Oof. Man. Bugs. Oh, shoot. Shoot. And you're probably all like, oh, yep, there it is. There's him really trying, giving it his all. A+ for effort, and I appreciate it. Oh, it's fine. We still have 19 lives. I'm feeling good. Feeling energized. I promise if there ever gets to the point where it's ridiculous and not worth your time to watch, I will edit it. But for the most part, I feel like I am not that bad. I'm bad, and it hurts to watch sometimes. But I promise, I am trying my best. I'm even using the D-pad on the GameCube controller, which I almost never recommend because it's garbage. And by garbage, I mean not great to feel, to hold. Ugh, stupid bee-thwomp. But yeah. Come on. Oh god, those faces. They look like they eat your dreams. Eat your dreams every night with a cold, cold glass of milk. They don't even heat up their milk. They just watch you and they drink cold milk and eat your freaking piping hot dreams because they know you hate it when they do that. So, God, we're just going to pass that up. Up. Alley-oop. Oh, man, sorry about that. Knocked the microphone and made a big old noise. Aha! I also love the frickin' star jingle in this game. It's so stupid. It's beep 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 beep. It's just a bunch of beeps and boobs. But then you have the classic at the end, even though it's not even in the original game or classic. Oh god dang it. So with this one you can oh, and I screwed it up. Well, oh, it's cool, it's cool. Come here, bud. Come on. Come up. Higher. Higher. Okay, not that high. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, okay, you know what? We're moving on. Oh, that was tragic. Really made me sad. So I could go and fight the boss, but obviously I want to do one more level. I'm going to try to keep these to about 20 minutes. The goal, obviously, for each one is going to be knocking out one of the zones, which I feel like is fairly reasonable. Like, they're not that long. Okay, or I die. Or I die and we waste more time because I'm bad at life. And piranhas, that in the form of plants. But, yep, so I feel like we can get done. We should be alright, and that was the most tragic anime death of 2019. Oh gosh, okay, well, yep, but we should be able to get done a zone video. And it should only be about 20 minutes. It might go over, but not by much if it does. Alright. Yeah, and I mean, honestly in this game, Mario controls pretty freaking solidly. He is a little slick, little like he's on ice, so if you're used to not like the Mario 3 style Mario, you will have some problems. Oh, I forgot you did that. Go away. Yeah, that one is just the ultimate troll enemy of, haha, I know you're gonna do, oh no, okay, that was silly. That was silly, but we're alive. And we restart the level all over again. I apologize for anyone who's having to see this. I promise that it'll get better. It'll get better. Oh man. And ollie-oop into death. And I thought I could jump over him, but you know what happens when you think. You get out-funk. But, yep. I don't know how much of this I'm going to cut out. Probably more than I would like to admit. And a motherfucker. Okay. There's the first F-bomb of the video and of the series. And hopefully the only one. I'll probably cut that. Just because, oh man. That was rough. I'll keep it in. I'll cut off the F-bomb. And then I'll, you know, hopefully save some lives today. Save some young years. Remember, kids, don't grow up to be me. I mean, I did it again. And why did I think it would be different? I don't know. There's something special about me. Something that screams, don't. And you know what? I have to agree. Don't. Ah! There we are. Truly. I am a man of sophistication. Doing the good work. Don't you dare. Don't you frickin' dare. I see you, ant. Sneaking up, trying to be all sneaky-like. Bip, bip, bip! Alright. Come on. Come on! Oh! There we go. I needed that to make myself feel better for all the death and destruction I've caused this poor man. This poor Italian plumber. Who has a wife in a castle and, well, I guess they're not married. I thought they were going to get married with Odyssey. It looked really cute and nice, and then they were like, Nintendo was like, no! You get to be sad. And watch as Peach abandons him on the moon. I didn't know how I felt about that. I felt kind of bad. I felt like Mario got the short end of the stick there. But you know what? What do I know? I'm not Nintendo. I'm gonna die. Okay, no I didn't. I was really scared I would jump off into oblivion and just... Oh, yes! The bell! Oh, nothing makes me happier than seeing that bell and knowing I didn't fail as a human being. Now you do have to be careful, because if you play the claw game, you have a power-up, you get a new power-up, it does replace your old power-up. So if you want to keep the bunny ears, you don't want to get a fire flower by accident, because then you're sad. And obviously you don't want the carrot, because who wants the carrot if you already have a carrot? You get nothing. Oh man. So as you can see, the bosses in this game have their own stages. They're not just boss fights. And nothing makes me happier than watching these poor Goombas who just are trying to live their lives. Okay, or I cannot do that. There. Fall. Thank you. Fall to their death. Sadly. Ah, silly owl. I almost just said tricks are for kids, and I feel really sad. And please don't sue me, Tricks. I know it's Tootsie Pop that have the owl, and I would like to just express my sincerest apologies to our cereal-based overlords. Ah, God. Okay. We're gonna be able to do this. I believe in us. And by us, I mean my limited amount of skill and brain power that I am showcasing right now. Okay, I am not wanting to... Okay, and that was almost really bad. And that was almost really bad as well. But it's fine, because I did it. Ha ha ha! Oh, and we're gonna ignore you. Actually, no, what am I talking about? I have to kill you. I have to make you sad. No! No! You cannot even live in a 1-block radius where you can walk side to side for the rest of your days. That's exactly what you'd want. No! My safety net! Welp. Welcome to the death montage. No! But we did make it to the boss. The stupid bird. Now I'm 90% sure the bird has a name. But I'm going to be completely honest. I do not remember the bird's name. I will tell you next video if I can remember his name. But he is the easiest boss of all time. You just gotta stand on one side, he swoops down, you jump, and that's it, he's dead. Like I said, pretty easy. That's usually why I recommend the tree for the first time, is because that coin is easy peasy 20 minutes. And look at that spooky door. Yeah, I wonder what that is. I should probably explain that, considering that's the plot. You know, the in-depth plot of Mario Land 2. So, next time on Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins, we'll be traveling across the land to this small house where I cannot see myself because I am the blind.